Hey guys, welcome to our channel. My name is Amelia, and today we are going to be talking about the 10 things that everybody hates about doing a bus conversion. So as you guys know, we've been converting our bus for the last couple months. You watch anybody who converts a bus, if you guys ever see a bus conversion, typically it looks pretty flawless. The reality is there's a lot of things that everyone hates doing when they're converting a bus, and I'm going to tell you those right now. The first thing that everyone hates about converting a bus is the unknown. When we first got our bus, we were like, all right, we've redone our house, we know what we're doing. No, completely different. Everything about the bus is an unknown because all buses are different. Someone could have went in there and kind of rigged something up themselves, so you really don't know what you're getting into, especially if you're like us and you don't really have the automotive knowledge, what wires you're supposed to cut, when you're cutting the roof, what to do then. But other things like getting a title, getting it insured, like those are all unknown. And until you start calling around to different companies to see who will help you out, or notaries, you have no idea. And we had that with our insurance. Like I called Geico because that's who I've had forever, and they won't insure it. So just a lot of unknowns. Number 2, the endless research. I feel like if this was a job, I would be working like 80 hours a week. Everything that we're doing, we're researching and we're watching YouTube videos. Thank you to you guys out there who are posting them because you're helping us out so much. You have no idea. And that's why we kind of want to do this. If someone is where we were a year ago, we want to help you guys like others have helped us. We are researching all the time. And I'm going to have to say Andrew does it a lot more than I do. I feel like once it comes to the inside stuff and we're like decorating and doing all that, that'll be on my shoulders. But as of right now, like welding, all that stuff, he's taking the bulk of it, and thank God. Number 3, the amount of work. I cannot tell you how much work we've put into this bus because we're constantly putting research into it. We're constantly talking about it, talking to people about it, asking questions. As a matter of fact, we saw someone who lives not too far from us, and we saw that they had a bus, and I'm like, that looks like a Skoolie. So we pulled into their house this weekend. We started talking to them. They let us walk through their bus. It's awesome. The way that they have it set up for 4 kids. I mean, it's so cool to just see like their solar setup, all that stuff. But the work is nonstop and you're excited about it. So it's easy to get caught up in it. Number 4, the amount of time it takes. Honestly, we all think things are going to go a lot faster than what they do. And for us in particular, putting up the siding on the when we did the roof raise, what we're stuck in right now is pretty time consuming. We keep thinking this is seriously like our last full piece, and we're finally like, oh yeah, we got it. And then we're like, we don't have to do that again. So by the time you figure it out, it's the last piece that you have to put up, and we just have to realize that it's going to take time. There's not going to be any quick fix. There's not going to be a day where we just bust everything out. We have our hands full with other things, so it's time consuming, and don't get caught up in that. If you're working on a bus or thinking about doing it, know that it's going to take you a good amount of time to get it done. Regardless of if you work or not, there's screws, there's rivets, all that stuff takes so much time. Number 5, the stress. And I'm going to be very honest here. It puts a strain on your relationship. Andrew and I have went through it with our house. We know how to work together, but that still doesn't negate the fact that it is still stressful. We get in little like tiffs about stuff because we both want it done the right way, and each other's right way is different. You know, it just is what it is. It's stressful. Like when we cut the wires and we couldn't get the bus to start, I had like multiple meltdowns. I was crying. I'm like, I can't believe we just ruined the bus. Thank God for Andrew, because he's much more like level-headed. Like, we'll figure it out. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. Where I'm like, it's done, it's over with. We're never gonna get it to work again. But it's very stressful. It is. And I'm thankful that we aren't in a time crunch to get this done. I feel like if we were like being pushed out of an apartment or something, it would be even more stressful because we would have to have it done in a specific amount of time. For us, it's more of a fun project. So if it takes us 3 years to do, it takes us 3 years to do. It's not anything that's make or break for us. Number 6, the fact that nothing is square. Okay, so this is very hard to understand if you haven't worked on a bus. So let me just explain it to you this way. We have those sheets of metal. They are square. When we go to put them up, we take the whole piece. Don't cut it, it's square already. We take the whole piece and put it up. One side will be perfectly lined up and then the other side is way off. It's because the bus isn't square, it's not level. No matter how much you try to make it level and make things square, it just isn't. That's just not the nature of the build of this bus. So very, very frustrating, because the last piece that we put up like last weekend, we were like, okay, it's perfect. And then we go inside and there's like a gap this much on one side. And we're like, are you freaking kidding me? So that's one thing, is like, no matter if you measure 500 times and cut once, when you put it up, it still might not work because it's not square. It is very frustrating. Number 7, mistakes are a given. Like I just said, we put up that piece, we measured it a bunch of times, cut it, we had it up there, everything looked okay, and then when we were done, we were like, oh crap, we're not where we want to be. It's a mistake, it's gonna happen. I just watched one of my friends' videos and they like cut a hole in their roof to vent their like hood for their oven, and then they realized they cut it in the wrong spot. So they had to like fix that, patch it, and cut again. Like it happens, it's gonna happen. It's a project, it's not perfect. We're not manufacturers. We're doing it one time and we're gonna make mistakes, but that's how you learn. Number 8, the weather controls how you can do your project. And we live in Erie, Pennsylvania. The weather is not in our favor, though it has not rained much in the last couple weeks, which we've been blessed about, but it does control what you can and can't do. I mean, we would love to take a week off and be able to just like get stuff done on the bus, but I guarantee the week that we take off, it's gonna rain all week. And we're hoping for a 2-year turnaround on this bus, but that's really dependent on our winter. If the weather this winter is really bad, we're not going to be outside in the freezing cold working on this bus. So it does, depend on the weather, how much you can get done. If you have a garage, like a heated garage, you can get that thing done in no time. We don't have that. We're working outside, so it's dependent on the weather. Number 9, the money. Whatever you budget for, I would almost double it. I can tell you that we are aware of how much money we are putting into it, but there's little things you don't think about. Like I just posted on Instagram that we bought new sealant to put in between the pieces of metal just for like protection of the rain and like noise and whatnot. And that's just little stuff that you don't account for. Like screws. If you lose a bunch of screws, you have to go buy more. It's just, there's going to be more money than you think. That's for sure. Number 10, this kind of brings it back full circle, is we're always looking for deals. And I'm always on Marketplace, kind of like scouring, looking to see if there's like an RV oven or RV windows. You're constantly on the lookout for those kinds of things, because if it pops up, you kind of want to grab it. Even though we're not even close to putting in like an oven or anything like that, if something comes up and it's on sale and it's a great deal, like I'm gonna snag it. So it's really, like I said, taking up a lot of your time, and I think it's okay if it's a passion project and you're into it and that's what you want to do. Great, like you're gonna spend a lot of time on it. Just know that going into it. Those are the 10 things that everyone hates about converting a school bus. I'm sure there's more, but let me tell you, the benefits, the joys, the challenges, the lessons you learn, all of that stuff outweighs all 10 of these things. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to us. We would be happy to help you if we can. If you guys are working on a bus, comment below what your bus is. If you have a name for it, let us know. We'd love to follow you guys. I hope you have an awesome week. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week.